All right, folks, our next school is KIS International School, which is centrally located in Bangkok, Thailand. It's an IB World School exclusively offering the International Baccalaureate programs. KIS is a collaborative community of about 175 students and 55 nationalities. They enjoy a strong community atmosphere and a variety of pursuits in academics, athletics, arts, and service. Students at KIS can pursue a continuum of IB education right from the start through the following programs: the IB Primary Years Program for ages 3 to 11, the IB Middle Years Program for ages 11 to 16, and the IB Diploma Program for ages 16 to 19. KIS's dedicated teachers and supportive parents work in partnership toward the attainment of student success. The school offers an academically challenging international curriculum and a well-rounded program of sports, creativity, and community service. They provide all of their students, from the youngest children stepping into a classroom for the first time to their graduates heading off to the best universities, with the tools to become lifelong learners, successful leaders, and responsible global citizens. KIS is recognized as a top quality international school with high academic standards, being fully accredited by both the Council of International Schools and the International Baccalaureate. And now, without further ado, I'm going to give you Kayleen. Hello, how are you
Hi,
today?
how are you? Morning.
I just realized, did I butcher your name? Is it Kayleen?
It's Colleen. No, you didn't butcher it. I don't know if you remember what happened last year, so we're already doing better.
You're not supposed to reference anything that happened. What's in the past is in the past.
It's good to see you. How are you doing?
I am well, thank you. Kayleen, what I have offered to all the other presenters yesterday, and then obviously starting today, is the opportunity to just basically, I just read, your standard blurb about what KIS is, but tell us what, in your words, what's it mean to be a KIS? What's the heart of KIS?
Yeah, well, I think it's important to share that I'm also a mother of 2 students at KIS, and that always brings a lot of personal context and understanding of what the curriculum looks like. I think that KIS is the only school in Bangkok that offers all 4 IB programs, which is a really exciting place to be. We've always been a full IB school, but the recent addition of the career-related program has given more options to university pathways. So I think that the same way the IB organization created this program in 2014 with an understanding that students are different, the world is changing, the world is evolving, colleges are evolving. How can we provide more of a diverse offering to students? KIS is the first school that's adopted all 4 of the IB programs. So that's a really exciting place. We'll be having an art exhibit at the BACC soon for those of the audience members that are in Bangkok. So they'll get to see some really amazing design technology pieces that our 16, 17-year-olds build. I'm always really impressed with what students are producing and the work that they're doing. I think KIS is a unique school because we're smaller than some of the bigger schools. We're just at around 800 kids. And with that comes a really nice community feeling. You have the 5-year-olds waving at the 12th graders as they walk through on their way to the indoor auditorium, if that's where they need to be having some sort of an activity. We have a lot of kids that are locals that start at age 3 and go all the way through graduation. We have an extremely engaged and active parent association. And so I think that the community feel is something that before I joined KIS 2 years ago, it was what I had read about online in reviews. Mm-hmm. It was kind of what reassured me to take that leap with my family. It was a little bit like everything, slower to come back with the pandemic. But this year, it's just been amazing to see everybody re-engaging. Our students have been traveling for the Marissa conference. That's a sports association for the Mekong River Valley. So our kids have been going to Vietnam to compete, or to Cambodia. And it's exciting to see that community feel really come back to life in a way that I know we were all a little bit starved for. Another thing I've noticed about KIS is parent education is really big for us. I think a lot of people ask questions about like the IB curriculum. This is my first IB school. And I think when you just read the language, it can be a bit overwhelming, sometimes a bit too technical. And you just, as a parent, what does that mean? I want to understand what you're what you're talking about. And I've been really pleased that my 7th and 9th grader have been doing very, very well. They receive a lot of support, a lot of individual attention, and that inevitably yields success. But as a parent, I was intimidated by all these things that I was reading. And now that I'm there, I realize that, it's not very different than what a project-based learning school says about their curriculum, or what a interdisciplinary school value or curriculum appreciates, so that students are learning through various different lenses with a lot of group work, also individual opportunities. And I think all of that continues to further that notion of a community school. But I
Fantastic.
could probably keep talking forever, and I don't have forever. So I don't know if we
Don't
should
worry,
open it for questions.
we have a question from a woman named Katia Rizzello. Can you tell us more about the CP program and exactly what it is and how it works, please?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the CP program is a dual enrollment program. So in grade 10, students are, they sit with their counselors and they talk about what is it that you want to do in the future? What is it that you want to do when you go to college? Where do you want to go to college? What do you want to study? The career-related program is a dual enrollment program where students are enrolled both at KIS and a university that's going to be related to what is that career kind of focus that they have. So it's more designed for students who have a strong understanding of what they want to do. In our case specifically, we have a partnership with SUMAS, which is a Swiss business and sustainability management university in Switzerland, as well as SCAD, which is the Savannah College of Art and Design. And so our students get to have a much more kind of curated, specific curriculum that's furthering their career goals. So if there's a student who's really passionate about design, and art, and they know that they want to be an industrial designer, they can be taking college level courses in addition to DP courses, as well as doing internships and getting other firsthand experience to be able to, when they get to college, have a much more robust portfolio, as well as a lot more specific classes. It also enables students to not have to take certain classes that they're not really strong at. Like I'm really not good at, I don't know, science, and this really has nothing to do with what I want to do in the future. You're going to get to kind of tailor your academic experience in those last 2 years and better prepare yourself for university. There are also other tracks that we can align. These are the ones that because it's a new program, so we only have been doing this now. This is our first year where we're going to be having students, and we haven't yet had graduates from this program because it's a 2-year program. But there are also options with aeronautical engineering, where you can have a partnership with Embry-Riddle, or sports management is another track. So there are a lot of options. They are more specific. So IBDP still is a broader course of study. We also have a courses option, so you don't have to do the DP program. And then now we have CP. So really at KIS, now we have 3 university tracks. We've amped up our counseling program, as well as parent education. And so I think really it's about finding the right fit for both the family and for the student. And it's really nice to be in that position to be able to offer that to our student population.
On riffing off of the diversity piece, tell me about the student body. What sort of internationality do you have, and what's your student body look like?
Yeah, I mean, broad strokes, we're about 50% local, 50% international. Within that 50% international, it covers over 50 nationalities. It's interesting to see how each grade can change a lot. I was actually just before this looking at numbers. Our 2023 graduating class is actually 44% Thai, 25% Indian, 4% British, 7% American, and then there's a mixture of the 18 others. So that's a really kind of unique group. And every year it kind of shifts a little bit. And we do see that kind of changes over the course, depending on many different circumstances. But that's kind of our threshold, is what we try to not exceed the 50% local, not just because we want to provide that international global perspective that is really a lived experience.
Fantastic. One final question for you. For the diploma years, what are the class sizes? Sort of student teacher ratio?
sometimes they can be really small. I mean, I've seen like a 7-person class, but the max is going to be about 20. It's never going to exceed that. And it will probably average at around the 12 to 15 mark. I think the DP students get a lot of individual attention, a lot of autonomy. And so you'll see students on their own in the art studio if they're taking the DP visual arts class in small group discussions for a theory of knowledge, but it's never going to exceed, I think officially our number is 23, but I don't think you don't see that at that level because it really is quite rigorous and they do keep the class size small.
Well, excellent. Well, I think it is time to move on to your video presentation for KIS, and then we have your colleague coming on afterwards. But thank you so much for taking time out of your day today. Wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Wonderful Q&A this year, and we'll see you again soon.
Good to see you. Take care.
Welcome to KIS International School. We are a thriving early years to grade 12 full IB World School located in the heart of Bangkok with more than 750 students representing over 52 nationalities. KIS was founded in 1998 as a primary school with just one building. Since then, we have grown to integrate all age groups and offer a challenging curriculum. We are proud to be the only school in Bangkok to offer all 4 IB programs. The Primary Years Program, Middle Years Program, IB Diploma Program, and most recently, the Career-Related Program. The early years are a magical time in a child's life. And at KIS, that means starting with a personalized and balanced approach to learning with one teacher for every 8 students, developing critical thinking and problem-solving skills that help students excel across all disciplines. This instills a sense of curiosity and wonder through play, equipping all students with the tools to become lifelong learners and leaders. Our lush campus is spread out over more than 25,000 square meters. Featuring well-equipped facilities including science labs, state-of-the-art design workshops, studios for art and drama, an auditorium, and an acoustically designed Audibox. Our sporting facilities are home to various teams including football, swimming, basketball, volleyball, and more. KIS is a warm and tightly knit community, and here individuals feel at home in our vibrant and dynamic school. Whether your child is just starting their schooling or nearing graduation, KIS offers a challenging and well-rounded program that will serve them well wherever life takes them. Come, discover how KIS is inspiring individuals.
Wonderful. And turn my camera back on. Great presentation there. And now here's my friendly teammates. They never, they didn't exactly tell me how to pronounce your name. So is it Chai?
Yeah, exactly. Good morning. My name is Kai.
Kai.
Yeah,
fantastic.
like egg in Thai, actually, as it turns out. Dirty Kel. So I'm American. My husband is Belgian, and here we are in Thailand.
Fantastic, Kai. It's so nice to meet you, and welcome. So glad to have you here to talk to us about educating the whole child. Do you have a presentation that you're going to share, or would you like to just tell
No,
us?
not today. Not today.
Fantastic. All right, excellent. So tell us, what does it mean to educate the whole child?
Yeah, so first off, as you can see, I'm the primary school principal. This is my first year as principal at KIS. And similar to what Colleen had to share, I moved here not only for my personal professional aspirations, but also I moved here as a mom. I'm the mother of 3 children, and my husband is an educator as well. And so when we made the move, and I would say the leap to join a community in Bangkok, we really were thinking about what we needed in terms of professional goals, but also family goals and what we were looking for the education of our own children. So similar to Colleen, I was looking for a school that would feel good personally, but also be a wonderful place for my children to learn, grow, and ultimately thrive. And I would say, first year in, we are now in the month of March. My children are happy. They have their friends. They feel challenged. They feel supported, and really, they're feeling engaged, and they're really quite engaged in terms of involvement in the community. And I believe as mom, we are educating the whole child. Now, as principal, that is our, I suppose, our responsibility, our goal, our aim is to ensure every child feels challenged and supported. And there are lots of different ways we achieve that. I think first and foremost, one thing Colleen talked about, and actually absolutely was a strong message in the video, is that we are a community-oriented school, meaning we have a very robust parent association called KISPA, KIS Parent Association, who is very committed to supporting community events. We have Songkran celebration coming up next month, and we are planning that with the Thai department, with KISPA, and involving students as well in terms of preparing for that event. We also had a big Chinese New Year celebration, other celebrations over the course of the year, even a Christmas celebration. Okay. And also one thing that we've done is we've looked at our counseling model. If we think about educating the whole child, there are different needs that come up in a child's life over the years. And we were committed as a school to providing a comprehensive counseling model, providing support for our youngest learners all the way up to through the DP and CP, where children are choosing pathways for their future. And so our counselors are not only working with the children themselves, one-on-one, in small groups, and in whole group lessons, but they're also really engaged with involving the parent community. That's something Colleen mentioned, is we have had a number of parent workshops this year, one just yesterday with led by our counselor Amanda, who was leading a book club, and that would be our second parent book club of the year. And actually, we have had a second parent book club because the first was so successful and so popular. And I say that, and I use those words because I have worked in a number of other IB schools around the globe, and the involvement, engagement with the parent community here is quite unique. The first round of parent book club, we were looking at the positive discipline parenting book, and after that parenting book club finished, after about 6 sessions, the parents actually said, we'd like to have a session where more parents can learn the key messages from this book. And we think it would be important if parents were able to speak and communicate about the challenges they face in their home language. And so this was parent driven, and we had a session of about 60 parents who came to talk about different challenges and successes with parenting. And we spoke in different mother tongues, in English, in Hindi, in Thai, in Chinese, in German, in Spanish, etc. And so people were really able to express themselves and communicate about the challenges, the joys, the successes. And I say that's part of educating the whole child because at KIS, we have a very strong partnership with parents. When we're talking about educating the whole child, it's not just the teacher's responsibility. It's not just the parent's responsibility. We work in partnership to ensure each child feels like they belong and feels like they're significant and that they're challenged academically. What else can I say? I can say that principal, we are really excited about our curriculum. We have a very engaging, dynamic curriculum that is IB based. I know that that's something that makes us unique as an IB school in Bangkok. In that, we are developing critical thinking skills. We are helping the children develop global citizenship, and we are helping them become responsible for their own learning. One thing we talk about is having agency in our learning, meaning children, even from a young age of EY1, our EY1 students are 3 and 4 years old, they have voice and choice in what they're learning. If I'm thinking actually about our EY2 classroom, if you walk in, it's actually a very beautiful space with a creation area, an imagination area, a discovery area. And in one of those zones, in one of those areas, they actually have a budding forest. So it turns out that children were interested in learning about the animals in our environment. And so to learn about that and to engage in this learning opportunity, they built a forest, and they're still building this forest and looking at what animals live there, how you take care of the animals, what's it like in this environment. They have a little tent that children like to go into that space and they read in there, etc. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
That was a wonderful overview of how, KIS educates the whole child. Is there anything that you'd like to tie it in a bow? Is there, something that maybe you're seeing for the, through the end of the school year or for next year that you're particularly excited about?
Yeah. So one thing that Colleen mentioned before was how this year our focus really was on re-engaging the community. So one thing that we've done is we've relaunched our residential trips. And so for me as an IB educator, this is something I've experienced in other schools, having these overnight excursions somewhere else. Some schools will do this, not every school will. I would say KIS does this really well, going to really cool destinations starting in grade 3 on overnight trips. So we've relaunched that this year, and we've had a number of day trips as well. And the day trips would be going to, we have our EY1 group going to the Butterfly Garden in the near future. We have the EY2 group going to one of the recycling places in nearby, where they're turning plastic using actually bottle caps, turning bottle caps into reusable plastic and little plastic pellets. And so we're looking at how we can engage in our local community, have really meaningful field trips, some overnight, some just day trips, to bring the learning to life and to make those connections to what's happening in the real world and our curriculum. And I would say something that we're looking forward to in the coming year is we are, I should say, when it comes to our curriculum, yes, we use an IB framework, but we are always reflecting on the program of inquiry, looking at what is strong, what can be enhanced. And all of our teachers now are engaged in what we call a program of inquiry review, meaning we're looking critically at all of our units of inquiry, having 6 units of inquiry in grades 1 to grade 5 over the course of the year. In EY, we have 4 units of inquiry, but we're looking critically at, what are the children learning at each grade level, and how are they building on that conceptual understanding year on year. And so we're in an in-depth review right now, and we're excited next year to really take that learning further and connecting that to our statement of quality learning, which means we're really ensuring high quality, engaging, rigorous education for our children. And again, putting my mom hat on, I ask my kids, how do you feel at KIS? We've been here a number of months, and they say, Mom, I feel like my teachers really push me to think harder. They push me to really dig deep in my understanding. They challenge me, but they also support me. And this is a conversation I had recently with my kids. So I'd say as principal, that's something I really strive to do, is make sure there's that rigor for all. And I would say if you come and you just observe for a moment, you'll see that joy and that happiness on the playground. You'll see that caring and kindness between the children as you peek into the classrooms. And I'd say our mission, our vision of inspiring individuals, that's really at the core of what we do in all aspects of the day for the children.
Super cool, Kai. Thank you so much for putting that on the table for us, for talking about how you educate the whole child. And we're really excited for you to be with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank you so much.
And so we're going to wrap up with KIS, but the way we're going to wrap up is one of these really cool promotions, in that, they're extending for anybody who's registered for the summit here with us. And, I gotta say, there's over 1,200 people registered in the summit right now. They're giving 50% off the KIS registration fee for anybody who has registered for the summit And, all you have to do is send them an email or give them a call and tell them that you came through the summit, and they will honor this agreement.